Especially if you don't have time for eyeliner, this is perfect too.
Perfect, like a quick little lift that no one can clock.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with K Holm. She is an amazing celebrity makeup artist who does Kim Kardashian, Kaia, Gerber, and many others. We met 3 years ago when we did a festival-inspired makeup look that I fell in love with her, and just her personality is just, I love her. So we thought it'd be fun to show some easy makeup hacks that make your makeup look really good. And for this full face, you can check out her channel. I'll put the link in my description. And all the items that she used is linked below, so you guys can check those out too.
Yes. All right, so let's get it. So a pro contour tip that I really enjoy doing is using a cream bronzer or a powder bronzer. You can use either one, or you can actually do both, the cream then the powder on top. It's gonna be the same technique. The product that I'm going to be using is Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. This is Intensity 05. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to scoop some out and then put that on the back of my wrist. The brush that I'm using is by ColourPop. This is F5. But you basically just want to start at the top of the ear. So you would want to hold the brush right at the top. Smile for me a little bit, Brittany. And this would be your guide as to like where to bring the contour into. I feel like it's pretty old school to like bring your contour lower. It drags your face down.
That's what I do.
Right.
Still, whoops, switching today.
I love you. I mean, there's no right or wrong way, but I hope that these like tips and tricks just help you guys just to kind of enhance and lift the face in an upward direction. So holding the brush at the top of the ear, that's my guide. And then smile a little bit for me, so I know exactly where to bring it into. So you're kind of like angling it into the apples of the cheeks, and a little goes a long way. You could honestly do this exact same technique with a powder product. So it really just depends on your skin type and texture, what you prefer. But I want you guys to, just practice this at home. And the takeaway is really just about the technique and just practicing either stippling the brush in to the skin, or you can sweep back and forth. So doing a combination of both of those techniques really makes for like a flawless look on the cheeks. Looks nice and smooth. So I always like to do a little bit of both. And then you can kind of like build as you go. So you can start with like a base layer, and then you can always go back and maybe darken it, add a little bit more depth, see where you want to add more. And then you can also kind of like follow the shape of the face, follow the perimeter, just to shade a little bit. And this same exact technique could be with powder as well.
So you never put bronzer like over here?
You can too.
That's what I do.
Yeah, no, you can definitely do that. And like I said, there's no
right. It just depends.
It just depends like on what you're feeling. Like if you want to go for more of like a sun-kissed look, you can definitely like put it in the center, but I typically like to just kind of do like the sides of the nose with like a little bit of contour just to shade a little bit. And you can do right underneath the jawline as well. If you do this though, it's really important to blend a little bit above and blend a little bit underneath. So that way you don't see like this like harsh line right here.
Yeah, big shadow.
Exactly, like everything looks seamless this way. So next I'm going to be showing you guys how to lift your eyes with concealer. This is a super easy way. I'm going to be using my Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Concealer. And for Brittany, I'm going to be using the shade 4.5. So this is a really hydrating concealer, great for every day, works for all skin types. But if you want more of a hydrated look that is nice and glowy, highly recommend this product. I'm going to go directly on her eyes with it just because it's a lot easier to do it that way. But for sanitary purposes, I'm going to be giving this to Brittany. So we're gonna put a line right here. I'm also gonna create a line right underneath this eyeshadow just to lift her eyes in an upward direction. I'm also gonna bring it right here by the nose and the nasolabial fold, like right above it. And you can see this concealer is really beautiful and sheer. It has such a nice glow to it. I'm also gonna put some just like on the sides of the nose just to take out like any redness right here too.
Because I always have redness on my nose area.
Me too. I feel like that's so normal, but like a little concealer always does the job.
Yeah.
You can go in with a beauty blender sponge or a brush. This one's by Marc Jacobs. It's called the Conceal Brush. And I'm just basically gonna go over those exact areas that I laid the concealer down. And I'm just gonna get right underneath her lashes. And then using this kind of back and forth in like a sweeping motion in a downward direction, just to make sure that I'm blending right on that line. And I'm being mindful of my placement of where I place the contour. You can go right on top of it to where it's almost overlapping. And I'm using really soft strokes. I think the softer the pressure, the better. And then you can always go in with your beauty blender sponge and just kind of push that in. and blend the two together. And it also softens up your contour as well. Sometimes, you know, it's easy to put a little bit too much bronzer on the cheeks. This is a great time to fix that. You can always use what's left over on the sponge and just kind of go over that area if you need to, and it'll soften up the whole look. Also like to pinch it really narrow so I can get right around this area here. To set the under eye area, I'm using my Pat McGrath loose powder, and this is the shade Light 1. It's a really smooth, hydrating under eye powder that you can use. You can actually use it anywhere on the face as well. And the brush that I'm using is a concealer brush by Fenty. It's the 180, but I love to use this right underneath the eyes just to set the under eye. I feel like you can really push underneath the lashes, and it kind of buffs out any creasing that tries to like occur right away. Can blend that out really quickly. And you always want to set right on top of that line. And you can see it left a really nice lift right here.
Oh, I love that.
It's so pretty. And it's not like too defined, it's like subtly there. And I think that's always the goal. It's all about creating those optical illusions just to kind of like lift the face.
Especially if you don't have time for eyeliner, this is perfect too.
Perfect, it's like a quick little lift that no one can clock, unclockable. You can also take a little bit of powder and put it right underneath the contour just to lift this up here as well. And that'll just define the contour a little bit more. So I'm going to show you guys how to perfect your eyeliner in a rush. First product I'm going to be using is my Inglot 77 gel liner and a MAC 263 brush. I'm going to be focusing the wing on the outer corner of the eye. You want to make a line angled in an upward direction first. So typically I like to do like a line on both sides. Make sure that's balanced first, and that's going to be your guide. So all of my focus is on the outer corner of the eye. I'm using an angled brush, and sometimes I like to flip it right or left just to create more of like a flat and straight line. You just have to do what works best for you, and practice makes perfect. So I feel like it's something that the more you do it, the faster you get. But my favorite part about this tip is the cleanup application, because let's be honest, who has time to make them even on the first round? I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and another angled brush. This is a clean one, and I'm just gonna pinch it so it has makeup remover on both sides. And you can actually do this with micellar water and like a cotton round. There's so many ways to do it. But I'm basically just going to pinch off the rest of the product. So we're just gonna kind of like slice this off right here, going really slow. And it removes a little bit of the foundation, so you can like take a little bit of concealer and go over that area if you need to. Makes the cleanup process so much easier. And every time I wipe, I also pinch with makeup remover. So that way you're not dragging black across your face. Really important to like constantly wipe. You can take a clean eyeshadow brush and just kind of wipe around this area to blend the foundation back in. So I want to show you guys how to get volume in the center of your lips but make it look natural. So I feel like I used to overdraw like the sides of my lips, and it actually does the complete opposite. It makes your lips wider, but it looks a lot more natural and softer if you just fill in the center of the lips to add more volume. So I'm going to take the darker shade first. This is Divine, and it's a Kevyn Aucoin lip liner. And I'm just going to kind of make the Cupid's bow a little bit higher. And then I'm following the natural shape of the sides of her lips. So that way all of our focus is mainly in the center. And then same thing right here, keeping that natural shape, but overdrawing it in the center. And then following the natural shape of the sides of her lips. And then same thing at the bottom. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit lower just to contour the lower lip. And then keeping the sides narrow. And then we're gonna clean it up because we wanna make sure this is nice and perfected. And then I'm gonna fill the corners in just a bit, just to contour. And we're not too worried about making it perfect right now. We're just mainly just trying to like shade a little bit and overdraw the center, and then we'll go in and just define the edges. I'm gonna take the lighter shade. This one is Undress, and I'm just gonna start shading the center of the lips. So we're basically filling in the entire lip with lip liner, and this basically just ensures that your lip is also gonna stay on all day. I feel like when I'm working with like Kim Kardashian or like Kaia Gerber, they need their makeup to stay on the entire day, and I'm not always able to stay with them. So this trick helps so much. And then we'll set the center with lipstick. From Buxom Cosmetics, I'm gonna use the shade Heartthrob just right in the center of her lips. And these lipsticks also like help to naturally plump up the lips as well. So you'll feel like a slight tingle, but it's like not overwhelming. So I'm gonna use a little concealer just to clean up her lips. This one is by MAC. I'm gonna be using the shade NW20 and just using a flat synthetic hair brush. This one's by P. Louise. It's gonna use a little bit and kind of coat it on both sides. I always like to use a finger puff just to stabilize and just to make sure we don't leave any like marks on the makeup. We're just gonna make this a little bit more narrow in the corners. And with a really steady hand, I'm just following the shape of her lips. And another tip that I really love doing is I'll have my clients, like I'll tilt their chin back, and then that way I can check the bottom of the lips. And then I'll have them put their head down and I can check the symmetry of the top. So I know exactly where I need to maybe go back and line more or take away. This side looks great. I'm just gonna come around this side right here.
The concealer really made a difference.
It really did. I feel like it just kind of gives you that like perfected lip look that we all want.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take a little bit of my Laura Mercier setting powder and I'm just using a more dense brush. I'm just kind of getting right around all the areas that we place the concealer. So you can roll your lip down a little bit. Yeah, that's just like that. So I can like kind of slightly get right on top of that.
All right, this is my
Finished look.
Finished look with all the hacks. Well, we actually took off the eyeliner because really wanted this to be a natural finish look, but I'm gonna be using the eyeliner every day. That tip.
We only took it off because we were recreating a look for my channel, but I'm so glad that I got to share a few eyeliner hacks for you guys. And I feel like this look is so soft yet snatched at the same time, and it's perfect for any ethnicity, any skin tone. It just helps to elevate any makeup look.
And make sure if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, you check them out here, and we'll see you next week.